Hello, good morning, everyone. Nintendo, right there. Hey, good morning to all of you guys. Welcome to Terrific Tuesday. Hope you had a good long weekend. It's pretty good month for a little bit of extra holidays, extra public holidays this month. So I hope you're all making the most of it. Good morning, Hardik, Laura, Luke, Foggy Geelong. Well, hey, we're back. I feel like I've got to put a jumper on sometime soon in Queensland, but probably not like down there in Geelong or Melbourne. Luke, Andrew, Alison, Hardik, Lexus, morning to you guys. Welcome to the Wealth Coffee Chat. Tuesday, the 26th of April. Hope you're all awesome and well. Had a couple too many drinks, Alison. Well, there you go. That's what happens when you start having a couple of extra long weekends. Everyone gets a bit leery, I suppose. But here we go. Like I said a moment ago, Jason Witt's my name. If you're new, most of you guys know that, obviously. But if you're new and you're wandering by, you found us, Wealth Coffee Chats. Happens because we're all crazy and mad about real estate investing. And if that's you, if you're into that, well, you're probably in the right place. I've been investing over 20 years and helping property investors invest across Australia and New Zealand over 18, probably 19 now. We're kicking on. And along the way, learn a few things. Share those with you guys each morning over a cup of coffee. Usually kicked off at about 8:10 each day. Usually have a bit of a look at what's in the news. A few things going on. Teach a bit of stuff. Bibs and bobs. So if you're new, give us a shout out. Even if you've been here a while, give us a shout out. Anyway, say hello in the chat. Excuse me. Stephen. Oh, no. Got the spicy cough. It's getting around, folks. Getting around. Well, there you go. I feel like the start to this year has kind of been the great false start, I've called it. With my team, my crew, we've always had a few people off, but we seem to be getting the hang of things at this moment in time, which is good news. Morning, Ingrid. Morning to you. Hey, I thought we'd talk about some rent stuff this morning because unless you've been living under a rock, you would have heard me talk about the massive rent boom that is underway, on its way. We've got a supply and demand disaster going on, but for all of us as property investors, as we build our property portfolio, something clicked there for a second. As we build our property portfolio, we all think about two parts to our real estate wealth. Tell me in the chat, what are the two parts to our real estate wealth that we often talk about? And there's actually three parts, and one is a kind of like a disputed part. There's three parts to real estate wealth that we directly benefit from, sort of in our pockets per se. What are those? Tell me. There's three dimensions to it. Cash flow, capital growth. Boom, Alison. Often, rents, rental growth. Often, capital growth gets more conversations at a party, doesn't it? And the tax variation. Boom. You guys have got the three. You've got capital growth. Gets a lot of talk. It's the favorite child, right? Everyone talks about it. Oh, capital growth, capital growth. And then there's the rents. And Hardik's on it, Alison's on it. Tax minimization. It's a vehicle. It's a part of our wealth because when you own real estate, you get to keep more money than you otherwise would if you didn't own it. So in my books, some people argue about that with me, and I think it's a dumb argument, to be honest. Listen, at the end of the day, if you've got $10, I've got $10, and by the time we put it through a process, I end up with 7 and you end up with 5, I'm wealthier than you. Now, that process just was very beneficial when it came to tax minimisation. And I used the benefit, the bonuses, the system that we work in. You can't change it directly, but you can roll with it. Anyway, there you go. So you guys got it. So the cash flow, the growth, the tax minimisation. And so right now, on the back of quite a significant capital growth section in the marketplace, which is awesome. Everyone's, happy about that. We're getting some rent stuff. We're getting some rent growth. And this is the one I'm actually happy about. I think capital growth is a vanity metric, and rental growth is the one you really want. However, capital growth is good for recycling your equity. The money you put in, you get back out, and you can go again. You can get another property. But rents, mostly, our rents are what we tend to use for our passive income in the future. So let's talk about that. Let's have a little look at what's going on right now, and have a look at some stats that I gathered thanks to RP data. I think actually it's realestate.com this time, about what's going on out there in the rental marketplace. Because, that's exactly right, Stephen. There is a system. I mean, it's a bit inefficient. It's a bit sort of technical, but there is a pretty good system in Australia where if you understand some of the rules, you can manage to, work that to your advantage for sure. For sure. But what's going on out there in the marketplace, according to the world of RP data? Have I got the right one here? Hang on. Let's see. I do. Hang on. Give me a second. I just got to add something here. No. All right. While I'm doing some technical stuff, I think there's something a little going on. Well, let me try this. Bit stuck, yeah. Should have tested that part this morning, team. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see if I can get it going this way. Stop that. Let's see here. We'll go back to the main. There we go. Do it another way. All right, there we go. But hey, listen. Thankfully, I can roll with the punches every now and then when it comes to the technical bits. But listen, we have some stats here that we're going to go through together and have a bit of a talk about what that looks like, because it's very interesting in the marketplace right now. If you're not out there, if you're not renting, if you're not looking for something to rent, then it's not that bad, right? So you probably wouldn't know unless you've got some investment properties. Having a bit of a look at this stuff here, since 20 and 21, the number of rental listings available is pretty significantly low. And if you have a look at how low, if we went back, and had a look at some stats, that's pretty low no matter which way you slice and dice this thing. Now, add this team to the challenge. Deb, the Melbourne rents are starting to move as well. And unfortunately, team, Melbourne was one of the most beat up cities in Australia and in the world. It had the most lockdowns and had the most impact when it came to its rental listings and its rental growth. Okay, it didn't affect the capital growth, but for all of us who own properties in Melbourne, our rents either went backwards a little bit or stayed stagnant for a reasonably long time. But we, in isolation, that could be a challenge. But in reality, when we look at all of the data behind what's going on there, like in many of the capital cities, we've got a real opportunity to benefit from that into the future. Now, we've talked about this. I'm just focusing on the rent focus today. But next week, I'm going to be doing Fear and Facts Fear and Facts at mentoring at our members-only mentoring night. And if you're not a member, if you're not in our mentoring program, you should, just by the way, listening in. Get yourself a coach. I'm going to talk about the Fear and Facts. There's about 10 different pieces to this puzzle behind the scenes that are, underwriting some real rent boom, and I reckon some capital growth sustaining into the future as well. But I'm not going to talk about that today. I'll talk about the rents. So, the number of rents, total listings for rents are down significantly, team, into the regional areas. Tell me why, just in the chat now, tell me why the regionals get affected so easily and compared to the cities, the metro regions. Tell me why the regionals get affected so much harder than the cities, and for me, what the challenge or the issue is going to be there. All right, but for many of us, we've got investments in the cities. Oh, let's undo that. We've got investments in the cities, and even if we have got investments in the regionals, the rent, these listings, I think, are going to continue to go down. They're going to continue to go down because our supply chain is broken. And you guys have heard me talk about that one continuously. Now, that kind of is going along sideways, all right, with the regionals. Let's have a look at this. But here we go, Deb, this one's for you. Rents, the asking rents, and this is the median advertised rents up in Canberra. I'm going to put my glasses on for that. I could probably look on the screen which one's which. So mostly the direction is up, pretty well. All of these are up in one way, shape or form. The median asking rent, team, Melbourne, blue. Right? And Melbourne, there you go. It's kicking up again now, Deb, but it came down. You can see Melbourne was the one that went down and is now starting to come back up on the medium. Yep, and that's right, Alison. There's less infrastructure, there's less construction in the regionals, less people in certain careers. So it's easy to, if there's a town of 5,000, if 100 people move there, that's actually a population boom, when it comes to the rentals, because there's not 100 rentals on the market, okay? When you think about that sort of stuff. And it happens in the cities with certain suburbs as well. So, if you think about this. So, yeah, the median asking rent, team, has been going up since late 2021. And, now into 22, we're good to roll. Now, tell me, and this is where everyone's got to understand. So what's usually the length? What's usually the length, folks? The length of a rental tenancy. How long is usually a rental tenancy? Because if you think about this, if all of those, let's say a bunch of those rental tenancies, got locked in, between sort of March 21, June and September, what would we see? What would we start to see, team? Tell me in the chat. How long is usually a rental tenancy for? And if they were locked in a little while ago, then when are we going to maybe see and expect them to change? And when can we whack the rents up? All right. So, Stephen, a year, 12 months, team. All right. So right now, if you think a year ago, what was happening? What was happening a year ago, 12 months ago? We were still in lockdowns. There was still uncertainty, blah, blah, blah. Excuse the French. Right, so now we're coming out the other side. We're going to see this year all of those tenancies unlock, and you'll see, further increases in rents, team. Okay. Now, some of those tenancies, some of the tenancies will relock early this year because the agents and the owners won't be on the ball. They won't be as sophisticated as you guys, and they'll miss the first go at the rental increase, and then they'll have a go at the second go, okay? Yep, Hardy's got a review in July. I've got an amazing 3-bedder on the water here coming up in May. So I'm whacking the rents up in May. All right. So anyway, there you go. So rents look like they're heading in the right direction. Check out this. All right. Look at the change in demand. In these cities. So Deb, this is good for you. We go right, like the change in demand, like this month compared to February last year, 60% increase per listing. So demand increase. And you have a look, the big kahunas right now, folks. Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. They're the big ones, right? They're the big cities that are looking to get some action. So we got Hobart and Adelaide, and it's a bit down in the regionals. Okay, so compared to last March, what does it look like? Where are we going? Demand's up, and if you have a look at this one, I thought this was quite interesting. Oh, can't fit it all in one go. The largest falls in rental listings year on year. Where is it? We've got the most demand and the largest fall in Melbourne. And that's why myself and Sam and the team have been talking about Melbourne as a really, it had been held back artificially, right? Artificially, because of the extra lockdowns. It wasn't fair. Melbourne's a fabulous place. And when it kicks back into gear, people love living in Melbourne. They love living the inner lifestyle in Melbourne, okay? So it's got a lot going for it as far as I'm concerned. So, the largest fall in listings and the largest demand, Melbourne, right? Away we go. And, some interesting things there. And then the largest increase year on year of demand, Melbourne again. So anyway, there you go. And how long are those things staying on the market? You have a look at how long a property is staying to be listed to rent, and it's pretty good. But there you go, folks. A little bit of a review this morning with a bit of a technical glitch on the way through about what's going on in the world of rents. And team, it's looking pretty good if you're a landlord. Not so great if you're a tenant, but at the end of the day, hey, folks, your costs are going up. You're not a charity. You've got to increase your income to cover your costs. It's not your job to make a loss out of your pocket. That is absolutely not the point of owning real estate. I've got a few sayings around here. You guys know a couple of these ones. Buy well, never sell. This thing's a marathon, not a sprint. It's going to take time. Going to take time as well. So, you don't want to be dying a slow, agonizing cash flow death of 1,000 paper cuts, folks. Put your rents up. Make sure you got your buffers, etc., etc., etc. There you go. There you go. Melbourne's got the Com Games. Oh, we're going to crush. Gee, check this out, right? Brisbane's got the Olympics. Melbourne's got the Commonwealth Games. Team, folks, I believe we've still got a really good decade ahead of us. Really good decade ahead of us. That is for sure. That's for sure. Anyway, team, there you go. Wealth Coffee Chat, done and dusted, over and out. Hardik, reach out to the team and they'll connect you if reach out to your coach and they'll connect us up. Hardik, for sure. Or the admin team, mate. Meg, Darwin. Actually, Darwin's making a comeback right now, Meg. It's had a little bit of capital growth and it's getting some nice rental yields. If you live up there in Darwin, Meg, it's not a bad place to live if you've got your right career there. Inexpensive in comparison to, other places. But certainly you need to move some of your money from the old Darwin into the other states if you haven't already. But, yeah, you guys had a great run, Meg, for a while out of Darwin. Like everywhere, everyone gets its turn. But looks like you guys are getting a little bit of upswing again as well. So especially with the rents, I think Darwin's the highest rental yield in Australia at the moment. So there you go. All right, folks. Hopefully you're awesome and well. And have a great day. Join me tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee Chat if you're up for it. Yeah, Hardik, no problem, mate. Let's reach out. Reach out to the coach and we'll connect, mate, for sure. All right, team, that's it. I'm just rabbiting on now. You guys be awesome. Go forth and prosper. Take care. Be good. Bye for now.